a couple different topics. The first topic, we didn't really talk a whole lot about, but it's going to be dealing with dividing with whole numbers. It's going to seem very basic, but
Can you write this down?
if it's in your note, if you don't have any notebooks, you yes, go ahead. Dividing with whole numbers. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about real quick is estimating. Okay, so when we're estimating, let's say we had this problem. We have 36,294 divided by 49. If we're estimating that, what's the first thing we're going to do?
Estimate the number?
What do you mean estimate the numbers?
Like estimate 49.
Round?
Yeah, round.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to round to 49. 49 rounds to 50. So what I want you to do is I want you to put the 50 down below. Now, we're going to work with what we call compatible numbers. That is the only rounding that we're actually going to do. What I want you to do is underline the 5. Now, what is the first number that the 5 goes into?
6. Oh, 6, but it's actually 36.
36. So I want to underline the 36. Now, what multiple of 5 is closest to 36? 35. So we're going to change that 36 to a 35. Now, all the numbers that are not underlined, what do we do with them? We make them into zeros. That's why I underline the 36, because that way I know what numbers need to become a 0. Now, the next step, since it's a 2-digit divisor here, what's the next thing that I'm going to do?
Oh, see what the 50 gives.
Nope. I'm going to cancel that 0 with a 0 at the end. And now I'm simply going to divide as if I just have a 5 there. 5 goes into 35 how many times? 7. And now all I need to do is bring up how many zeros? 2 zeros. And so estimated, your answer would be 700. The reason I cancel that 0 out just makes it a little bit easier. I'm just simply now dividing with a single digit. Okay, so estimating. What's the first thing I do? Max?
Estimate the number you're dividing by.
How about we say round? Round the what?
Divisor?
Round the divisor. Step 2. What was the next thing I did? Finley?
So underlined the first thing that the 5 goes into.
Underline the first numbers of the dividend So we underline the first numbers of the dividend that the first number the divisor goes into. Does that make sense? We can change it around so it makes sense. Underline the first number of the dividend that the first number of the, how about of the rounded divisor? Goes into. Does that make sense? I mean, it doesn't matter to me if I understand it, but you need to be the one that understands it. Everybody comfortable with that? Okay. What was the next thing we did? Parker?
Anything behind it. Turn any number behind the
First digit. How about we just simply say, cancel any zeros that we can? Would that be clear enough? Cancel any zeros I'll just leave it at that. Cancel any zeros. Okay? Keep in mind, as you guys have in your notebook, you're going to have an example that you can kind of relate to. And then finally, after we canceled,
divide normally.
just divide normally. Okay? Let's put an example right underneath that. $43,689 divided by 83. So Blake, what's the first thing I'm going to do?
Round the
So
divisor.
83 rounds to 80. The next thing I'm going to do is what? Hayden?
You're gonna change.
Nope.
You're gonna
Look at step 2.
You're gonna underline the first two numbers in the dividend.
How about I first underline the 8? Underline the first number. Oops. So I should have said underline the first number of the divisor. Now, what's the first number that the 8 goes into?
It goes into 43.
So I'm going to underline the 43. Okay? I should have put in here, change underlined number to the closest multiple of the divisor. Okay? Because what multiple of 8 is closest to 43? Think about your multiples of 8. What multiple of 8 is closest to 43?
40.
40. Because the next one would be 48. Is 43 closer to 40 or 48? 40. So we're going to change that 43 to a 40. And then everything else is going to become a 0. Keep in mind, when we're estimating, we can round it up. Now, next thing, we're going to cancel out zeros. And now the first number the 8 goes into is? 8 goes into 40 5 times. Bring those zeros up, and your answer is 500. Okay? Keep your notebooks out real quick and get your board. $70,293 divided by 93. Go ahead and estimate that. I'm going to let you go do the whole step.
Everything?
Yep. Go ahead and do everything. The nice part about estimating with division is that you only divide it one time. We're using compatible numbers. what multiple of 9 is closest to that. It might be multiple of 9. So the first thing we're going to do is what? Faith? 2. Next thing we're going to do is what, Finley?
You are going
Xander.
underline 90. I'm sorry, 9, sorry.
And?
Underline the 70.
Okay. Next thing we're going to do. Nadia?
We have to put the 70.
Nope. Parker?
Find the closest multiple that 9
What multiple of 9 is closest to 70?
72.
72. So we change the 70 to a 72.
And then we add the 3 zeros.
Now we add the 3 zeros.
And we cancel out the 0 and the 9.
And now 9 goes into 72.
8 times.
And we bring up that, we end up with 800. Okay? If we had this, guys. Let's say we had 364,297 divided by 527. The same idea happens. We're just going to do this, talking our way through it. First thing we would do is round to 527 to
530.
nope. 500. Underline the 5. We're also going to underline the first number the 5 goes into. 36. One multiple of 5 is close to 36. 35. So we change that 36 to a 35. And now we bring down 4 zeros. Now how many zeros can we cancel? 2. These 2 with those 2. And now 5 goes into 35 7 times. Bring up those 2 zeros, and their answer is 700. Okay? Question about estimating with division. Okay, now, that's the first part of your assignment, is going to be estimating. The second part is going to be actually dividing them. So let's go with this problem here. 36,294 divided by 49. Now, when we divide them, what I recommend doing, okay, this is my recommendation. Everybody has their own strategies. This is what I do. I look at this 4. What's the first number the 4 goes into? 36. How many 4s go into 36? 9. I'm going to see if I can use that 9. I'm going to take 49 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Carry the 8. 9 times 4 is 36. And 8 is 44. Can I use 441? No. So instead of 9, what am I going to try? 8. So I take the 49 times the 8. 8 times 9 is 72. Carry the 7. 8 times 4 is 32. And 7 is 39. Can I use 392? No. So today I'm going to try 7. 49 times 7. 7 times 9, 63. Carry the 6. 7 times 4, 28. And 6 is 34. Very good. Can I use 343? Yes. Where did that 7 go?
Above the 2.
It goes above the 2. 7 times 49 is 343. I subtract. 2 minus 3 I can't do. Bar from the 6 makes it a 5, makes that 2 a 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. 5 minus 4 is 1. I bring down the 9. Now, what's the first number that 4 goes into? 19. How many 4s go into 19? 4. So I try it. 49 times 4. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 4 is 16. And 3 is? Can I use 196? Yes, there's 4 times. 4 times that is 196. Subtract, I get 3. Bring down to 4. How many 49s go into 34? None. 0. 0 times 49 is 0. Subtract, you get 34. Depending on what they want you to do, either as a decimal, as a fraction, as a remainder. Okay, it could be remainder 34. It could be as a fraction 34 or 49. If they wanted it as a decimal, you put a decimal out of 0, bring that 0 down. And now the first one the 4 goes into is 34. 4 goes into 34 how many times? 8, and you would check it. Nice thing here is we already did with the 8. Would the 8 work? No. Would the 7 work? No. Would the 6 work? Yes. Okay? And so that's how I recommend doing the division. Okay? With the round, I know some people say, well, let's round to 49 from 50. Okay? It's still the basic same idea as what we're doing here, except I'm not taking that, I'm not going to do the rounding step. I just simply look at the first number, see what that goes into, and try it. Okay? Question about how to divide with whole numbers. That's the second part of your assignment. The third part of your assignment is simply going to be adding and subtracting decimals. Okay? Now, the first thing we need to worry about with adding and subtracting decimals. If we have the number 37, in the number 37, there is no decimal. But where can we put a decimal? Like a period at the end of a sentence. So if you don't see, if you have a number without a decimal and you need to put a decimal there, just think about a period at the end of a sentence. It goes behind the last number. And now, we can add as many zeros as we want to because we can add or take away zeros as long as it does not change the place value of the other digits. Okay? If we have this, 26 is 700. Can we get rid of that 0? No, because it would change the place value of the other digits. Okay, if we got rid of that 0, that 7 would no longer be in the 100, it'd be in the 10th place. So we can add or take away zeros as long as it doesn't change the place value of the other digits. Now, let's say we have this. 6 minus 3 and 1900. When we add or subtract decimals, what is the first thing we must make sure we do? Parker? We must line up the decimal. As we said, in the number 6, where is the decimal? Behind, like period at the end of a sentence. Now we have a decimal there. Now we can make sure we line up the decimals. The 3 is going to go there. There's our decimal. And now we can add zeros because, well, we need to. Because we can't take 9 away from nothing. If anybody's going to make a mistake when they're subtracting this, the mistake's going to be they're going to think that they can subtract it like that. And they're going to bring down the 9. And they're going to bring down the 1. Well, you can't do that because you got to take the 9 away from something. We have to put the 0 there. Now 0 minus 9. Can't do it. Can't bar from 0. Got to bar from the 6. That 6 becomes a 5, makes that 0, 10. Now we can bar from the 10, makes a 9, makes that 0, 10. And now we can subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. Bring down the decimal, you have 2 and 8100. Okay? On your board, let's do this one real quick. Six and 3/10. Whoops. 6 and 3/10 minus 5 and 2400. Go ahead and do that real quick. 6 and 3/10 minus 5 and 2400. Which two? Which two? Your board maps. Awesome. Good job. Erase it real quick. Let's do this one. Five minus 3 and 4600. 5 minus 3 and 4600. It makes that 0 what? More for the 10 made it a. embark from the 0, made that 0 10. Now you embark from the 10, that 10 becomes a 9, and that 0 becomes a... You couldn't do this, right? So you couldn't embark from there, you embark from the 5. That 5 became 4, made that 0 10. Now you embark from the 10, makes it a 9, makes a 0 a what? Don't get in that habit, because a lot of people they make a careless mistake like that. Okay? So we have 5, you're right there decimal, we put the decimal like the period at the end of a sentence, minus 3 and 4600ths. Okay, 0 minus 6 we can't do, we can't bar from 0, bar from the 5, makes it 4, makes that 0 a what, class? 10. A 10. Now we can bar from the 10, makes a 9, make that 0 a what, class? 10. 10 minus 6 is 4, 9 minus 4 is 5, and 4 minus 1 is 3, and we end up with 1 and 5400. Any questions? Your homework. What's Max's question? Use your mental calculator.
I didn't even ask that.
Well, you know he was thinking it, huh?
No.
Max, we can read your mind like a book.
You were gonna ask it.
You're too predictable.
You were gonna ask it. Just okay. I always do this to Mrs. Rule. Who am I thinking of? Mrs. Rule. Mrs. Okay, I'll tell Katie.
Alright.
No, you're gonna answer this.
No, I'm not. We're going to do this at
Come
home.
on.
Okay, your homework is...
I can go to bed.
What? Workbook 60. Let's do... Now, let's do 3 through 15 multiples of 3. And then also you're going to do 20 through 23. And then on workbook 66, you're going to do 3 through 24 multiples of 3. And then 25, 27, and 28. So 3 through 15 multiples of 3, and then 20 through 23. And then on the next page, 3 through 24 multiples of 3, 25, 27, and 28.
Just to make sure, multiples of 3 are 0, 0, 0, 0.
That's what you think. Okay, guys, you have 10 minutes. Get this finished.